Hey guys, got some pretty cool stuff today. One of my favorite brushes is the Maggard's SHD knot. Really have been enjoying this one. Craving shaving handle. Get that back in the water. This particular knot, I like it better when I make sure that I soak it for several minutes. And the piece de resistance today is a razor I've been waiting to get for quite a while. Maybe it was last year I managed to purchase used a Wolfman WR1, and I got it, and I believe that, and I really enjoyed shaving with it. I know it was earlier this year, and I got the lower gap, and I really enjoyed that. And I think, and prior to that, I had gotten another Wolfman. And I think I got those because they had just come out with the WR2. And so the people that have the WR1s were going to sell them off to try the WR2. Or maybe because they had already gotten the 2. It's a different head. And some of the time I'll bring the one in and show you. But I finally got my WR2. I was in the right place at the right time, mostly because of diligent work and lots of monitoring and things like that. Got it from another online shaver, and I really appreciate it. It is a high polish version of what he offers, and which is extra nice. And this is the WR2 head. It's a little taller than the WR1. The safety bars come down a little bit more. And this is a titanium handle I got off eBay. And let's show you the WR2 head. Here's the little annotation there, WR2. And James in Canada is where he is. He makes the Wolfman equipment. Kind of all by himself. He did have a guy helping him for a little while, apparently, to make the Gorilla razors. And he makes these. And he originally worked with a guy at, I think it was LA Grooming or something like that. Los Angeles Shaving Soap Company, LASCO. We abbreviate it that way usually online. I believe that's the company that he worked with to create the BBS1 razor, and it came out and some people bought it and apparently really liked it, but then that partnership dissolved, and so there was a limited supply of those BBS1 razors, and it just happened to be a geometry and something that just appealed to so many people, and it became kind of a legendary status to where you had to fork over these days $1,000 to get one of those razors, and it's kind of on the secondary market there, and so in high demand and low supply. James decided to, it seems, go back to that BBS1 design. He couldn't do it exactly because of the partnership that was back there, but he changed it enough to where this is basically really similar to the BBS1 head. Maybe he adjusted some of the problems with the BBS1 that he perceived, but maybe this is close proximity to that. So here's the top cap. Obviously you can see the 4 corner posts. Those of course will keep the blade aligned exactly right. And this is stainless steel, machined stainless steel. And then we have indentations for those 4 posts to go in. And so that will also just keep the head, the base plate here, aligned perfectly with the top cap as well. Just a curvature there to the blade. It's all flat in this part. But then on these side panels right here, you get the curvature, and it looks like it's going to stay nice and close to the tip, the edge of the blade. And so that's going to have a good solid hold on the blade, and I get the best shaves from razors that do that. All right, so kind of a thin profile. Let's give it a shot. I've been eagerly awaiting because I heard that these were a little bit smoother than the WR1, which I do enjoy. And so I was trying to get one of these, and so in a way, my searching has been relaxed with this razor because I've got a large collection of vintage razors and a few of the modern ones, enough to where I'm in a really happy place, and I really enjoy that. I'll start selling off the ones I don't use and that kind of thing. Terrific. I'm so glad to use this. And what we're going to do is put it in this Gillette Silver Blue, or put in it the Gillette Silver Blue. It's fairly young for me. 11 uses. It's not one that I'm marathoning. So I'll go ahead and put him in. All right, so the blade is ready. So we'll just lay it into the top cap. Now this blade has those nasty little glue spots, you know, wax or whatever the company uses. And so I'm going to put those on the base plate side because that's easier to wipe off. And yeah, of course, the blade is just perfectly centered with those 4 posts. And I'll just drop the base plate in. And you can see there, little square left between, and that's where inside that little rectangle area is where the base plate, where the blade curves. And very solid. There's not really, sometimes you feel the bend or something like that as you tighten it up, but this one is just all connected really nicely. And there we go. This is the 95 gap. I believe that is the next to lowest, and so I'm curious if I'm going to be really happy with this gap, or if I'll need to go 1 notch down. So we'll see, but I know I'll enjoy the razor for sure. So I was very happy that the one that I did have access to and get lucky enough to grab was one of the lower registers. All right, the soap we're going to use today and the aftershave is from a base that I really enjoy. Unfortunately, the company had to close down. Reef Point soaps, and I'm trying this test depth for the first time. Unfortunately, I can't remember the notes. Check out the description for the scent notes. Definitely picking out some citrus, but it's not super citrus forward. There's other maturing ingredients in there, so probably something woody a little bit. All right, let's just go to it. A little water on my face. Probably about 24 hours since my last shave. And we'll take this Maggard knot, shake most of the water out, and we'll do a 20-second load on this Reef Point. It has been used by the previous owner, scraped a little bit. All right, 20 seconds. Can you hear anybody crying in the background? My wife is binge watching Downton Abbey. Apparently there's some kind of movie coming on later this coming week, and she's wanting to refresh herself. She wanted me to watch it with her. I watched an episode or 2, but it's not for me. I did appreciate the historical, and the buildings and the inside of that mansion, and the city and stuff where they are is really interesting and intriguing from a kind of a historical perspective. So I could get into that, but I'm no drama guy. Maybe a little bit of amber in there, something something kind of sweet like that. I've smelled that smell before. I don't know exactly what it is. Two teaspoons of water added now. Normally I don't recommend using a syringe to add water unless you're just a really kind of nerdy scientific type like me. It's just too much of a chore for some people, and I don't blame you. But for me, I like it because I'm able to communicate then the water usage to some degree for you guys. For those of you struggling with lathering a particular soap, that might be very helpful. Normally, a good practice is just to leave some water more water in the brush than I do. Bring it out from like your soap cup or the sink and just kind of one shake or something, maybe all you need to do. You know, figure that out for yourself, but that's a great way to do it. Oh yeah, look at the surface there. Glossy is nice. It's not required. Some soaps just don't have that sheen, but it's just a nice creamy texture. It's I like so many of the Reef Point soaps. This one doesn't have quite as much of a scent. Yeah, it's a terrific looking lather. A little bit more water in it, and then I'll bet we're going to be able to use it from there. Some of these really dense brushes like this tend to push the lather around and get it up on its side, and that's not as much of a mixing action as you want. So then periodically I'll push it down with the brush and then mix that, maybe not splay the brush quite so much in the bowl, just to keep the lather down on the bottom. Work the sides, make sure you bring that down. All right, this lather looks really good. It's showing some elastic properties. Look at that. That's tremendous. All right, let's go for it. Crazy family out there.
See you later. No pants.
Crazy family. All right. I rinsed off the threads of the tub here. Keep that soap buildup from happening. I think we're ready to go. Water on my face, I already got it. So let us see what kind of lather we get. Normally I think I've got a good layer down, but I'm going to keep scrubbing just a little bit more because it's important to get that soap worked into your skin. Get plenty of enough time for that soap and that lather to connect with you so it can protect. Looks like a good lather mix on this one. All right. All right, the first strokes with the WR2, gorgeous, and tight tolerances. The machining quality of this brand is just kind of way above board, and that's why people are willing to pay premium prices for it. Oh yeah, wow. Really smooth. You can feel the blade just a little, but you know what? It's really almost more like feeling like the edge of a credit card moving across your face instead of something sharp. The blade's cutting really well. And like I told you, it's holding that blade really close to the edge. And so you will get a really confident, smooth feeling because of it, because there's no flex to the edge. And when there's flex, in my theory, then that means that it can move across your skin and kind of, as if it flexes and vibrates and chatters, and that means it's doing this as it goes across your skin, at least at a microscopic level. And that means sometimes it's kind of digging into your skin more, and then sometimes it's not, and sometimes it's more. And I think that can lead to irritation. And so smooth razors like this, that is greatly reduced and excellent, comfortable shave. Now, some people may rely on that audio feedback. And so there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you like. If a chattering blade kind of makes you feel like you're getting the right shave, or you use that audio feedback to know whether you're at the right angle, that's your thing. Nice soft tips as usual on this brush. It does have a little bit of backbone, and I usually need to soak this guy ahead of time. I wish I would have done that, but I forgot. So he's shoving my skin around just a little bit more than I usually like to have him. But once you switch away from the first pass, you really you can stick with just these painting strokes, which of course this brush and just about any brush is great at. And now that first pass did such a great job that I just don't feel like there are very many hairs left to cut. Now, Wolfman apparently just changed his methods. Used to be he would open up his site to where you could order a razor at maybe every 3 weeks or so, but it could only be open for just a short time because people use like site monitoring tools to be able to get alerted and then jump in and make an order. Or if you got lucky, then you could get one, and then in a few weeks he would ship it out to you, and then he'd open it up again and repeat the cycle. And unfortunately, that's what so many of the small makers have to do, whether they're soap makers like Bufflehead or Mammoth or Talbot. They make as many as they can, as many as they feel like, before they can open it up for they call it a drop. And then you get online to their site and you place your order if you can. Well, Bufflehead used to sell out in like 2 minutes because so many people really enjoyed the soap. And it's new, and people would blame the seller as it's some kind of marketing gimmick or something like that, and it's just not. I mean, when you're a small seller, that's all you can do, unless he wants to make just 1,000 soaps instead of 300 or instead of 200. If he wants to keep making soaps for such a long time to be able to open the window and have more people to be able to get it, than just the quickest of the quick, but. So there's not much they can really do when there's such high demand for your products. And James was the same way. He could only open his site for just a few minutes before he now had enough razors for that 3-week period. Well, he changed everything. It seems he put up a wait list. He used to have a wait list, but then it got years long, multiple years long, and so he had to quit that, and he switched to what he was doing. But now he's back to the wait list. So maybe he's going to have that wait list sign up form open for a certain amount of time, and then he'll have to turn that off as well, and maybe switch back to the old method. I don't know, so that's neat that at least some people might have a chance of getting one of his razors. I do feel a couple of places where my skin is a little tender, but I used a really harsh kind of razor yesterday, and so that might be what it is. There are some razors that feel really good like this, but then they're actually cutting really close, and so then you discover that you actually got cut and you didn't even know it. Wow. The geometry of this razor is perfectly suited to my face, because here I am after the second pass. As I rinsed away, I felt almost no hairs at all. My neck spot right here is, I don't even know if I see any length on any hairs, and that's something that it often takes me 3.5 passes to get to instead of 2. So I could definitely, this feels closer. I mean, there's not really a reason for me to do a third pass. Rinse away a little bit of soap here. Skin feels great. There's just nothing left to cut. I like third passes. I like enjoying my soap that much. But I'm not going to shave where there's nothing to cut. Holy cow. That's good and bad, right? Anyway, so the 20-second load for Reef Point seems to be plenty, because there's definitely enough here for my third pass, and then maybe 1 or 2 more. So there's that. How much water did I add to this one? To this soap mix? 2.5 teaspoons. So there's that. Let me go look up those scent notes on test depth. All right, so the scent notes on the soap. Citrus, I picked up on that one. Water lily, mulberry, vetiver, and amber. And I believe that mulberry was what I was picking up. Yeah, and probably the amber. I did mention amber. Vetiver. I really like vetiver a lot. It's not coming through super strong, but I like that it's a supported note. All right, well, that's today's shave. Really cool. Loved the razor. Looking forward to hitting that one again. Really like this soap as well. It's not too strong while in use, but it's enjoyable. All good. Hope there was something here for you. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. You take care.